MZTV.
Yeah, you remember that Simon and Garfunkel song, Are You Going to Scarborough Fair? Well, first of all, you know, if I want to go to Scarborough Fair, I will go, and I don't think it's anybody's business if I'm going or not, so I don't need to tell anybody if I'm going to Scarborough Fair. Second of all, the next lyric, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. The music's over, right? Okay. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. I used to think, I must have been 10 years old when that song came out. I used to think that it was parsley, sage, grows merry in time. Explain that? Well, parsley, sage being a person, and she grows merry, M-E-R-R-Y, in time, T-I-M-E. Well, she had a bad childhood. No, I can picture it. Picture like a roll call in third grade. Billy Smith, here. Parsley Sage, here. Yeah, and she had a bad childhood, so she grows merry in time. I was always happy for her. This is the show you've been waiting for a long time. People have been saying, when are you going to update us on the, am I allowed to say political? Am I allowed to say that? Martin, when are you going to update us on the political scene? Well, I'm going to do it right now. Now, I have to remind you, those who are new to the show, that the whole CV19er, I have to talk in code the whole way through because I don't want to get flagged, you know, and it's very touchy these days. It's even rough saying the word political. I'm taking a chance right there. So, but the CV19er, you know what I mean, it has been a scam from the get-go. Now, I'm not saying that the CV19er thingy, that's my word for the virus, I'm not saying the thingy is a scam. The thingy is real, but it's no worse than a flu thingy. But as outrageous as this sounds, many of you probably already know this, of course you do, the whole thing was necessary to derail the orange guy's economy. The orange guy was building the United States, the orange guy using common sense, sound business practices, and really American guts and determination, was bringing America back. All you have to do to bring America back is unleash the people, unburden them, let them keep their money, stop making it hard for them to start businesses. It's really that simple. It's not even political. It's just common sense. You get the hell out of their way, and that's what the orange guy did, to the point that the economy was better than it's been in the history of the United States. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a death blow to the one world government, to the new world order, because if you want to have a one world government or a new world order, you can't have one nation standing out above all other nations. So whether the CV19er was stirred up in a laboratory, very possible, or whether it was natural, the thing is, it doesn't really matter. Well, of course, it's much more nefarious if it was cooked up in a laboratory, which it probably was. But the fear is the scam. The fear mongering is the scam. Total fake. Total trick. And it is so painful to see my fellow human beings over the last year falling for it. And for companies needing to be politically correct, and so they want to be seen as doing the most for the dreaded CV19er. And if you noticed during the lockdown, I'm going to get into new information. This is all review because I haven't talked about this lately. Everybody wanted to be seen as doing more, and they catered to the most skilled person. But the most scared person need to feel welcome in the airplane. So in order to get the most scared person to still fly, we're going to make everybody wear masks. Am I allowed to say that? Oh my God. And now they're saying that, well, even if you have the VC, well, you still might have to wear 3 or 4 masks. And many people will do it. And this is where I get so disappointed in my fellow human beings. Not you, because you're up to speed. Many people will do it, but many people are rebelling against it because they say, we're not going to do this again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you know how that goes. So there are hundreds of thousands of people protesting. And you notice that it was the blue states here in the United States. It was the lefty states. The socialist states and the socialist cities, the big cities, that pushed the harder lockdowns. Why? Because it was a concerted effort to wreck the economy. Because it is essential to the left to have a wrecked economy. It's essential that people depend on the government. Because the left wants the government to be your mammary gland. We will be your mammary gland. You don't need to imagine that you can make it on your own. No, no, no. You need a giant mammary gland, and we are here to help you. The worst thing a lefty can experience is to have people self-sufficient. So, it's the insane measures that were taken in the past year in certain large democratic cities. It was horrible. But it wasn't because of anybody's health. If anybody still thinks that all this governmental concern about the CV19er and you wearing your mask and get the VC, if anyone still thinks that has anything to do with the public health, whew, I'd like to know if you're going to Scarborough Fair. Yes, you might find parsley sage there, and she is growing merrier with time. This sounds kind of Dr. Evilish, but it has to do with taking over the world. Getting people to give away their freedom in the interest of the greater good, i.e. public safety, which is the scam. It's a scam. And giving up their power, and then the government being able to control everyone. Well, Marty, how could they control people? Well, they force you to get a VC, and they know who has it and who doesn't, just like Santa Claus. He knows who's naughty and who's nice. Why? Because he has a list. He's making a list, checking it twice. Gonna find out if you're naughty or nice. This is what the New World Order wants to do, because when they keep track of you, they can control you. They can decide what you can do, what you can't do, where you can live, where you can't live, where you can do business, where you can't do business, if you can fly, if you can't fly, if you can go into a store. It all comes down to control. And this is a great way to control people. It's an evil way. It's a diabolical way. They have absolutely no concern about people dying, or that is, they have no concern. Back in the early days when they had the cure for the thing, I don't even want to say the name of the thing, hydroxy, you know, the thing. The mainstream news media downplayed it because they didn't want a cure. You must understand this. That in the USA here, the main news people are an arm, they're the propaganda arm of the leftist socialist agenda. It's just the way it is. And so they don't want people getting the cure. They don't want, just like for the same reason they don't want people becoming self-sufficient. Because they have this insane, diabolical desire to control other people. So that brings us up to speed. Now, as you can see, the Exhumed Body, who was in that oval-shaped business area in the District of Columbia, as expected, the whole fake administration is falling apart. It's a mess. So the orange guy is not done. The orange guy's coming back. Sooner or later, I don't know. And even as I speak, Can you believe this? They're still counting the cities where there was, trying to talk in code now, the cities where they had artificial things cast for the guy who would lead the country, and it was all artificially induced. It was all cheating. Well, they're starting slowly. It drives me crazy how slowly it is. In fact, it drives me so crazy I stopped paying attention to it for a long time. But now they're still looking at the process that happened on that night, and they're realizing that it's all going to come out. It's just taking longer than I thought it would. Which means that the exhumed body is not really supposed to be there. Well, of course, by God, he's supposed to be there. But one of the reasons is for the world to see how inept big government is, how inept the left is. They have diabolical plans, but when it comes to hands-on, they're not too smart because they're arrogant. They never think they're going to get caught, and so they just do stupid things. But anyway, the Orange Man is going to rescue everyone from this. As I predicted a while ago, I still think the Orange Man is a prime candidate for the man of lawlessness, otherwise known as the Antichrist. But as you remember, I haven't said this in a while, so I'm just going to review it for people who are new. The man of lawlessness is a white horse rider. He comes as a rescuer. Okay, but how does he rescue us from the VC? Because right now it's getting very close. There are inroads being made all the time to making the VC mandatory. You must get the VC. What's going to happen with this? Is that not the mark of the beast? Yes, it is the mark of the beast. I don't know what else. I mean, the timing is right in the final years of Millennium 6. I want to talk about this for a second too. Is Christ returning in 2027 or 2028? I want to talk about that little discrepancy there. Whatever answer is given there influences whether what year the tribulation will start. Right now, certain countries like France and Israel and more countries are saying that you have to have proof of the VC in order to function in life. Yes, people, right now the way it's going is the people who don't have the VC are becoming the new lepers, and society will be divided between those who have and those who have not. Those who have the watch the Zender cam. Those who have that and those who don't have it. Society will be drawn, and there will be great persecution. Great persecution. To me, anybody who takes that thing is just not informed and is a little, well, not informed. I don't want to say any more because I don't want to worry people. There are some in my audience who have probably done it. I have no idea why. It's dangerous at this point. At this point, it's foolhardiness. I know some people have to do it for their jobs. I know it's a tough situation. I don't condemn anybody, really. I shouldn't say it's foolhardy because if your living depends on it, I mean, but taking that thing could lead to not living. But don't want to worry anybody out there. I didn't take it, nor will I. But something's going to have to happen to make it more acceptable. So the orange guy's going to come back and he's going to like calm everybody down. Of course we're not going to make it mandatory. Of course we're not going to. No. And everybody will there'll be a relief. The economy will be back. The exhumed body will be taken to a quiet place and fed applesauce through a straw. And the evil will be put away. But there will come a new world order. But you see, the new world order is too evil to be a deception. My criteria has always been, I'm repeating some of this, that Jesus said concerning the final deception, even the elect would be deceived if possible, if it were possible. So I have to look at this thing being one of the elect, thank you very much, and say, well, this is great. I wouldn't mind having the snatching away delayed in order to luxuriate in this wonderful, peaceful, sensible government. That's what it's going to look like. it's not there yet, because now it's a disastrous government, because it's run by a bunch of arrogant lefties who just are power hungry and don't care about people. This is what drives me crazy, is that those people who support the lefties, they believe the lie that they want to take care of you. It's such a lie. We have your best interests in mind, and people actually believe it. It's so incredible to me that, yeah, it's like if you look at their track record, they just make a mess of everything because they use people as stepping stones to power. It's all about power, controlling other people's lives. You need us. Control, control, control. Anyway, so the orange guy is going to be back, whether sooner or later, 2024 at the latest. I think maybe sooner, and rescue everybody. But something's going to have to happen, because if you have, right now they're only asking for a certificate to prove that you have the VC. But that certificate, so somebody recently asked me, are the people who get the VC, have they just taken the mark of the beast? No, because the mark of the beast is not the VC. The mark of the beast is the mark of the beast. It's a mark. And I believe this mark will be used to prove that you have the VC. Right now, all you need to prove it is a piece of paper, a certificate, a green pass, whatever the hell they call it. In other words, when they ask you for proof, you have to reach for your wallet. The day is coming where you won't have to do that, because there'll be a either visible or invisible mark. I was thinking for a while it was going to be invisible. Now I think it's going to be visible, because it will be a badge of pride, like the Catholics with their ashen cross on their foreheads. I just went to Ash Wednesday and I got this ash cross on my forehead. And they go around like strutting around. They don't want to wash it off because they're proud of it. They're proud of it. They love that they got it. I mean, to us, they're just bragging about the fact that they're completely duped. But to them, it's like, I belong to the world's greatest religion. You mean the mother of harlots? Yeah, that's what I meant. Okay, well. So no, it's not the VC, it's the mark that proves the VC. But something's going to have to happen under the orange guy. And if it's not him, I don't know who. I mean, it could be somebody else, but it's going to be somebody in that vein. A Western religious leader that will lead people out of the dystopian nightmare that is this current administration, that the world laughs at. The world laughs at our current administration. They didn't laugh at the orange guy. Oh no, they were afraid of the orange guy. That's what we want, you see. I know it's not politically correct. We need to be nice to everybody, including Hitler and Saddam Hussein back in the day, and Kim Jong-un. And we need to be friendly and nice to these people. Just tell them we'll get along with us. They'll do it. If you're nice to them, if you give them candy, if you give Iran money to build nuclear arms, then they'll be nice and they won't do it. Because you were nice to them. They give them money that'll appease them, and then they'll make them happy, and they won't build the bad rockets and missiles. Oi! Clinton did that. And we know that that guy did it, and that guy did it, and the orange guy didn't do it. New sheriff in town, that kind of thing. But something's going to happen where this whole VC thing is going to become more acceptable. So the people were skeptical now, and rightly so. Something's going to happen where there's either going to be new developments. It's going to be proven to be completely, totally safe. It's going to come across as being friendly. It's finally going to benefit from some real research and some real testing. Something, I don't know. Something's going to happen where the skeptical people now are going to get it. And it's going to be a happy, jolly thing, not an evil, you better do this or else thing. That's what it is now. That's what they're making it. And now they're saying that they're going to come to your house. They're going to come to your house, knock on your door, this present U.S. government, and they're going to pressure you. This is so comical. It's evil, but it's so stupid. And like they're going to take our guns too. It's like, that is really stupid too. Can we have your guns? Yeah. You know, boom, boom, bang, bang. Bye now. But see, in the old days, you used to need tanks to take over the world. But now you just need propaganda. And people are so dumb these days, the whole world has been dumbed down via electronic media, started with television, now cell phones. People are so that they're very prone to suggestion, like being hypnotized. So you don't need tanks anymore. You just need to mesmerize them. You need to play on their political correct need to be nice and understanding. And so they will do whatever it takes to make everybody happy. Oh, I'll take the VC. Can I get 2? Oh, there's another variant. I guess I need 3. Oh, is it time for an upgrade? Oh, is everybody happy now? I'm dying. Don't worry, everybody's happy. See, they just play on that. And people just like, well, I don't want to be looked upon as the odd man out. I don't want to be looked upon as the evil one who's making everybody die. So I'll die. Something's going to happen. Now, you remember when Matthew Holland and I did a video called, Will Jesus Return in 2027? The idea is concerning the Jubilee year, which will be coming up. Matthew was thinking it would be coming up in the spring of 2028, because the Jubilee always starts in the spring. The Jubilee is after 49 years in Israel, the next year is the Jubilee year when, slaves are set free and land is released to the original owners. All kinds of nice stuff happens, okay, without getting into excruciating detail. Great year. Jesus announced the Jubilee year in Nazareth when he took up the scroll of Isaiah. So if Jesus Christ is returning, and Matthew's thought was Jesus Christ returns in the fall, because he has to return in the fall. As I said in my talk last week, or was it the week before, about the Israel feast. The only feast that hasn't been prophetically fulfilled is the Feast of Tabernacles, which occurs in the fall. And I said Jesus Christ must return in the fall. So the thinking was Jesus Christ returns in the fall of 27 in order for the kingdom proper to begin. The Jubilee year starts in the spring. But I'm still solid on the kingdom beginning in 2028. But it could be, as I originally thought, that Jesus will return in the fall of 2028. If you don't know why I used the year 2028, you need to watch the Revelation series. Just go to my homepage, scroll around, you'll find it. Go to the subset of shows called The Final Years of Millennium 6. Why I believe, and others believe, that 2028 is the inauguration of the kingdom. The question is, does Jesus Christ return in 2028 and the kingdom begins in earnest the next spring with the beginning of the Jubilee year in 2029, or does Jesus return in 2027 and the kingdom begins in the spring of 2028? Because of that video I made with Matthew, I was thinking that, the kingdom starts in the spring of 2028, which means that Christ returns in the fall of 2027. And if the kingdom starts in the spring of 2028, then the tribulation, just subtract 7 years from the coming of the kingdom. That time comprises the tribulation, the 7-year period. The period must precede the kingdom. Subtract 7 years from that, and the tribulation would have started in the spring of 2021, this year, if Christ returns in the spring of 2028. Or if the Jubilee, that is, if the kingdom officially begins with the Jubilee year in the spring of 2028. So, some people think, well, it could be the tribulation has started. We know it starts slow and it gets wicked in the middle of the 7 years at the 3.5 year mark. Yes, that is true, but I don't think it has started yet. I look for it to start with a mega peace treaty deal. I know there have been some treaties signed by the orange guy when he was in office with some Middle Eastern countries, but all that has been going backwards since the Exhumed Body has been in that oval-shaped working area. So now the other thing is what I was believing, which I'm now thinking again: if Christ returns the fall of 2028, That's the return of Christ, the fall of 2020. So the kingdom officially begins the return of Christ. I mean, it's almost like a ceremonial beginning then in the spring of 2029 with the Jubilee year. If that's the case, then the tribulation wouldn't start till the fall of 2021, which we're in the summer of 2021 now, so it's a few months ahead. Things are brewing all over the place. They're looking at these records from that thing where people tried to elect a new leader back in November, and it was a mess. It was cheating. The wrong man is in the oval-shaped working area, relatively speaking. It's the wrong guy. He did not win. The guy that did win is living 50 miles to the north of me in Palm Beach, Florida. That's the guy who won. I believe that's going to be set right. It's either going to be set right before 2024, or it's going to be back to the good old days. And my prediction finally comes true of $1 gas, $1 a gallon gas, and so on and so forth. Looking at my time, I can't believe it. I got so much more to say about this. There's an article about Facebook is getting involved in religion now. Ooh, I wonder if that has anything to do with the illicit relationship that John saw in the unveiling with the whore and the beast having illicit relationships. Yeah, the whore is religion and the beast is Facebook. Yeah. Everything you see now happening with the VC, it's a warm-up to the mark. It's a warm-up. It's like dress rehearsal. People hate it, but they're going to be appeased. I hate it, but somehow they're going to be appeased, and it's going to look less evil. But right now, hundreds of thousands are protesting. I'm glad they are. Thank God there's some sanity left in the world. So that's all I have to say for now. I might continue on this theme tomorrow. I don't know. I probably won't. I'm going to get back to the scriptures. I'm going to get back to our evangel. I'm going to get back to the glories of Christ. I'm going to get back to our freedom and how wonderful it is to have it. I'm going to get back to our celestial expectation. I'm going to get back to love, how we ought to treat each other. So many wonderful, wonderful things. It's a dark, dark world. I mean, it's hard to live in it. It's oppressive. It's just, I have to, smoke a cigarette once in a while just to get by. I have to keep running in order to get my mind. But we must not focus on these things. It's going to happen. It has to happen. It's prophesied to happen. It will happen. The mark of the beast, I believe, involves this VC. At least this is the thing that got it started. This is the thing making people willing, because according to the scriptures in Revelation, you can't buy or sell unless you have this thing. So that's the thing. There you go. You can't buy and sell without it. That's what the book of Revelation says. And today in politics, they're saying the same thing, that without this, you won't be able to buy or sell. Now it has the shadow of evil upon it. But after the Orange Man returns, it will have less the shadow of evil upon it. And it may even graduate from a VC thing to more like just join the club thing, right? The VC may have jump-started it here under the Exhumed Body administration, but when Orange Man returns, it might be more of a thing of, okay, now this mark shows your membership in the most wonderful organization that ever existed, the one that saved you from the VC. That's a very real possibility, because the elect, if possible, would be deceived. It has to be that good. And right now, it ain't good at all.